Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our reaction to The Circle, episode 9. We are officially in the home stretch. We are rounding that circle to get to the end of it.
That's right.
This is the first time that I think we're actually like losing numbers now.
Yeah, it is. This is going to be the first time that really it's going to be going down. We are getting to the end now.
Yeah, and we're starting to whittle away. We have a couple of notable exits in this episode. I think some pretty controversial decisions, too, that were made, and we'll talk through a lot of that. But before we do, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to Carter Matt on YouTube, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Alright, so there are a couple of different eliminations and decisions we got to talk about here.
Yeah, we had a double block.
We had a double block. It begins, though, with Sean and the aftermath of her decision to reveal her true self, because this is incredibly important, I think, to what happens in the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So Sean reveals who she really is, and with the group that she reveals it to, the reception, it is very much positive.
It played out the way that I thought that it would. I didn't think anyone that she chose to reveal to was going to be like, how could you? How dare you? And
Yeah.
I mean, it played out exactly how I thought that it would. Everyone was going to be supportive and tell her that she can be herself, and that is this kind of group. So it made sense. And I think that it was a good move for her. I still feel like it's a good move for her. I thought she might have been in trouble if she hadn't made those connections. It helped her.
Yeah. I don't know long-term what the ramifications are, but for sure, short-term, it's a good move. Because I think that if Sean doesn't make this move, I think Sean is gone in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. And I do want to bring up the idea that, is it possible that she planned to do this way all along? Or at the very least felt like it might be something she will choose to do? I found it very interesting that she had photos of herself available, and I didn't know if it was just her or if all the catfishes have that option to come clean if they wish.
I feel like that has to be something that's sort of established in the early going, and because it's a part of your game, obviously, and it's a risky move for your game because you're basically revealing that you've lied to people. So I think the Circle, they want to encourage drama. So if that's the case, you gotta have this out there for people. And so I'm sure they approved this in advance.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I was just kind of wondering if it was something, they didn't really play it out this way on the show, but there was a little part of me that was, because she has said that she's confident about who she is, and she has decided to go into the game and play somebody else. If it was something in the back of her mind that if I come into this group and everybody's a bunch of jerks, then I'm not going to reveal myself. Or if I go into this game and there are some other genuine people, then I'm going to play it this way and I am going to reveal myself. I just wonder if she came into the game with the idea that she was going to be adaptable, that if it played one way, cool. If it played another way, all right, then I'm going to open myself up.
I think your idea is the cooler idea. Like, I think it would be really cool if that's what she was thinking. I don't really know if she was. I do think she probably had it somewhere in her mind that it was a possibility. I don't know if she was strongly considering it. Like, I don't know if she entered the game thinking I need to be adaptable, or she got into the game and realized that it would be helpful if she was adaptable, and with that in mind decided to go this route.
Yeah.
The question that I have for you, though, I think is kind of simply this. The thing I wonder about in terms of long term is that it does seem as though we've got this 4-person group of Chris and Joey, Shubham, Sammy.
Yeah.
And they seem to be the dominant 4 with Rebecca kind of there as a 5th.
Yeah.
Does this actually catapult her on some level into that 4, or could someone like a Chris or a Sammy decide they want to use her and maybe get rid of a Joey or a Shuby down the line?
I don't know. It still feels like these 4 plus Rebecca are, after watching this episode, are happy to just pick off the new people. And and move their way to the end, because they are just over and over again becoming influencers. And is it enough for Sean to be able to wiggle her way in? I don't know, man. She's probably going to have to do a lot more, because these four, and Rebecca, have figured out a way to continue to have the top spot, continue to take out other people. I think that with the way that this group is and the way that everyone is so genuine, there doesn't feel like there's as much backstabbing going on, because the only person I really feel that is capable of making that move or doing that move is Chris. But at the same time, I think Chris knows he's in a really good position bringing everyone along with him, because everybody really likes him. So having him being brought along to the end, it's good for him, and having a big alliance like that is happy to bring him to the end. It doesn't seem like, why would he start cutting out his own alliance?
It reminds me in some ways of like the very first season of Survivor, when nobody really knew how to play the game yet, and there was just a big alliance that sort of just picked off other people and they got to the end together. And maybe this will change. I do think there is like a 5% chance that Sean can infiltrate this somehow, mostly because of who you just said, and Chris, because this is the craziest thing. Shuby has had that crown on his head for like the majority of this game.
Yeah. And for me, this is one of the first times I've watched a show like this. Like a Survivor, like a Big Brother, or any other show that pulls in alliances. Normally, a big alliance forms, and I'm like, all right, I'm out on you guys. I don't even care how great you are, or how bad you are, or whatever you can bring to the game. Who's the underdog? And I always end up zeroing in on that person and wanting to root for them. In this case, I am for the first time rooting for the main alliance, because there are people, even though Shuby has worn the crown and he is the king going forward, he's still so likable to me, and I just can't stop rooting for him. And it's a really interesting position for me personally to be in, feeling like I want to root for the dominant alliance.
This is like me watching Big Brother 20 and kind of rooting for Tyler just because the other alliance was just so terrible and ruining their own game all the time.
Yeah.
The thing that I just wonder is sort of, okay, so what would this game have been like if Shuby had not been in power one of these weeks? And I think that's why so much of our perception on this season is influenced by this idea of, okay, because Shuby has always been an influencer, maybe that's caused Chris to act a specific way. Maybe that's caused Sammy to act a specific way. And I don't think Sammy is really the stab people in the back variety, but
no.
I do wonder when you get to maybe there's a situation where you've got 6 people left, if Sammy is then going to be like, you know what, we're almost to the end of this alliance anyway. I want to win the circle. I've got a chance to get rid of Shuby if she would go for it. I think she might.
I don't know that she would, actually, because I think Shuby's gonna take someone like a Sammy or Joey to the end. I just think he's going to. I don't think he's going to cut either of them. I think he'll cut a Chris before then. And possibly a Rebecca. I'm not actually sure. It's really interesting because he keeps saying that she's his sister and this and that, but there are enough threads out there now about Rebecca not being exactly who she is within this group for a while, that I could see some of that coming into Shuby's mind at some point in the future.
Yeah, let's construct the Shuby pyramid here for a moment.
Shuby is in such a good position right now. People really like him, and I just feel like people are going to feel so bad cutting someone like Shuby. This isn't a cutthroat group. That's why I seen Bill's message where he was just like, y'all are fake. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Are they? No. Everybody's pretty genuine, and everybody's held together by this incredible circle glue that's going on.
I'm going to put on the black hat here for a moment because I don't think Shuby's winning. I don't think Shuby's going to get to the final 3.
I don't think Shuby's winning either. I actually think that Chris is going to cut him.
Yeah, I think Chris is going to cut him, and I think Chris is going to win the circle.
I absolutely agree. That is what's going to happen. Yeah. Shuby is not going to make a run to the end. It's not going to happen.
No, it just feels like...
but I don't think it's going to be Sammy that's going to cut him.
I don't know. I don't... Probably not, but I could see Sammy being in league with Chris and letting Chris sort of be the one who really takes the initiative on it. But to me, it's like, I think Joey is Shuby's number 1 right now. Mm-hmm. I think Rebecca is his number 2.
Yeah, I think right now.
Sammy's probably number 3. And then I think Chris is probably at the bottom of his list right now.
Yeah, I think that if Sean and Ed end up going, which is kind of how it feels like it might go unless they get into power, and I just can't see it. I can see this dominant group just cutting everybody out.
Yeah.
I can see that if the next person that's in power is Shuby, Chris is done.
I think it's a strong possibility, and I think that could be the way that it goes. But let's take a moment to say our farewells to, as you mentioned, Mr. All Y'all Are Fake, Bill. Bill, you did not last long enough. Bill, you came in too late. You just seem like in 30 years, you are going to be yelling at people to get off your lawn. Like, I love everything about Bill. He has been in the cold in Chicago for too long. It has made him crotchety.
No, I liked Bill too, but Bill did not put in enough effort, and I think that was a lot of his downfall. And this other group is just too tight that you really need to put in a heavy effort to be able to get through that group. Yeah. And I'll give the circle credit, at least until this point, they haven't done it yet, that they haven't thrown in a twist to try to break up that main group. I appreciate that it isn't that way to be like, oh, let's break up this main group. Let's throw in this super unfair twist that absolutely will smash them to pieces. There's real gameplay going on here, and they're allowing it.
I think the problem with Bill, and this kind of sucks for Bill, but it feels like he's just too normal a human being. I think if you're coming in this late, like, you need a hook. Like, you need a reason for people to want to care about you, like an interesting story or something that makes you... And he's just sort of like, dude from Chicago, and he just seems like incredibly normal but also kind of boring.
I just think if you're coming in this late that you really need to make an effort to not just join in some fun group chats. Yeah. You need to make an effort to get into those DMs and make one-on-one connections with people. Throw out the net as wide as you can and DM everybody privately, get to know everybody, and see if you can maybe even just pull in 1 or 2 people.
Bill's performance on the circle was about as good as Bill's trivia performance on the circle. That was the harbinger of things to come, clearly. Here's some fun irony, though, because Bill, the decision is made that Bill is ultimately going to go. Yeah. But at the same time, it's just sort of interesting that Bill makes this whole thing about, oh, I wasn't fake enough. And then we have Alex, a.k.a. Adam, leaving later in the episode, and he's like, I was too fake.
Yeah, it's true. And that was sort of when... I just don't feel that core group is being fake with each other. I just don't. I know, obviously, Seaburn is who Seaburn is, but I don't think Seaburn's there to be fake and hurt people in that way, as we saw later on in the episode. Yeah. I think he is trying to make genuine connections. He's not trying to... He still has a moral compass in this game, and I think that's why this power alliance is so close, and why Bill didn't fit in, because he felt like everyone was being fake with everybody, and he wasn't participating in the way that he needed to be genuine with everyone.
No, and I just think he found himself on the outside. He couldn't really work his way in. And, you know, even the Circle producers, by the way, they totally shaft Bill. Because Bill doesn't even get to go and, like, hang out with somebody.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. Everyone else gets a chance to at least go and meet somebody. And, yeah, nothing for Bill.
Maybe it was cut out. Like, maybe it happened and they were just like, you know what, this isn't interesting. We're not going to put it in the episode.
And it might not be, because, like, I was really thinking about it. And I was kind of like, who would Bill go to see? He didn't really make a connection with anybody. So
he could have visited Adam and tried to punch him in the face.
yeah, I just can't. There just wasn't.
No.
He did not make the connection. It wasn't there.
Yeah, it just didn't. There wasn't enough compelling drama because this was just sort of like a popularity poll that sent Bill home. It's not even like it's easy to talk like about who made the right and wrong move because it's just kind of a community thing. But now we can get to the strategic conversation because, as it turns out, there are multiple people being blocked. Mm-hmm. We have, for the first time, Rebecca ascends to power alongside Shuby.
Yep.
They have to make this decision. And here we have Seaburn being, I think, too pure in a lot of ways, where he feels bad that he has catfished Adam so good that he's supposedly in love with Rebecca.
Yeah, Shuby revealing that really was Adam's downfall. And I know Shuby was revealing that thinking that this was actually going to help keep Adam around. And it blew up in his face.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying I'm starting to feel kind of like Seaburn's game's going to unravel a little bit. And it doesn't make sense, and I don't know why the group isn't wondering why in the world Rebecca would get rid of Adam. Why? She was being very clear about their feelings, that things were growing. Yeah. There was, something more than just flirting, and then she's gonna cut him. It was a little sketchy. I would have thought something's really off with that. So even when Seaburn was, oh yeah, he came to see me, this and that and whatever. Well, why did you cut him?
I wish we had more footage for this. This is my feeling on it. That she probably goes to everyone else and says, ultimately, I cut Adam because we all have this pact, the OG people. Like, she may think she is number 5.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that she has it. We already saw that they had a 4-person conversation. She wasn't included. And then Shuby went and basically told her.
Well, we don't know why she wasn't included, though. That's the thing.
No, we don't.
Maybe she was in a conversation with one of the other players and she couldn't be a part of it. Like, I just feel like on some level she feels like there's a 5-person alliance, and that may have been why this happened. And then she could say after, Sean told that story and revealed her true self, it was such an inspirational moment that I couldn't, in my heart, get rid of her. But that does not change.
Still not believable to me.
I wouldn't really buy it. I would understand, but I would be skeptical. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Well, that's why I'm the most surprised that nobody asked her what really was behind something like that.
I feel like they have to. This is why I want the live feeds for these conversations.
I agree. I feel like somebody would have asked this question and she should have been ready for it, or at the very least explained it to us watching how she's going to get out of that. That's somebody is going to be like, why would you cut your own ally?
Yes.
This guy is interested in you. So even if it doesn't turn into a romance after the show, you cut somebody who's going to keep you around. Why?
The only other reason I can think of, and I mean, this is one that would make a lot more sense actually, is if Rebecca just went to everyone else and was just like, I know that a lot of you guys feel very heartwarmed by Sean and her story, and you're not really connecting with Adam, so she could say it's a move to sort of make everyone else in the circle happy.
Yep.
But you got to play for yourself too, and I just think, Shubham, you were totally correct when you basically said, I think this was a mistake, but I understand why he wanted, Rebecca to be the one to make the move, because he doesn't want too much power.
Oh, he's already out on an island with that. He's king of the circle right now, and everybody knows it. There is no getting around that for Shuby. Yeah. He's definitely somebody that people should be getting out immediately the minute he's not in power. How good was that meeting with Seaburn and Alex?
This was incredible. This was the best thing I think about it was just seeing how, happy Seaburn was that it was a catfish. And Alex was so happy that it was a catfish, too. It was just like, hey!
And that was what was so great about that moment for me, too. That that neither of them really had to feel crappy about breaking somebody's heart in it, that it was a relief, and you could see it all over their faces, that it was such a relief that they were both catfishing each other.
Yeah.
And to be able to have that bonding moment, to be like, oh man, Rebecca's my girlfriend, so it was really difficult to have to flirt with people, and have Alex be like, yeah, I totally understand. I've been with my woman for, however many years, 11 years. Like, it was difficult for me too.
I feel like Alex just made it easy to kind of accept his exit, because Alex realizes at this point how terrible of a game that he played.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Entertaining, but pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just ultimately, at least for this season, this wasn't the way to go. And I think because nobody had I don't imagine these people were at home watching the UK version of The Circle before they went and did this. I don't think they understood enough what the game was, and I think he thought this was going to be some sort of dating show, and it clearly wasn't, and it shot him in the foot a number of times.
Yeah, everyone that kind of came on there looking to flirt and be single and looking to mingle, it just has not worked out. Nobody's there for that.
Before we go, can we just have a toast here for Ed? It took us the entire season to have really, I think, the first pure villain of The Circle. This guy is, like, he just seems really, I don't know the right way to put it, but he is just turned up for, like, no real reason. He's just in there with his mom shouting about how, oh, you're fake. I know you're fake.
I understand kind of where he's coming from, because if you're not part of that group and you don't know anybody and actually know how close they are, to see something like that, and it's almost what Shuby said at the very beginning of this, which is something that I agree on him with, and why I like Shuby so much. Social media has a lot of forced positivity where everything is like, oh, you're the best, you're so beautiful, you're the smartest, everything is great, I love your baby, your dog is so cute. Our dog is cute, but you know what I mean, right? That when you have this situation and he's just sitting from it on the outside, not understanding that there are people with connections here, that when something like that comes out and everyone's like, oh, you're amazing, you're the best, you're the smartest, that just starts to feel like that forced positivity and not necessarily genuine. I think he doesn't actually know. So outside looking in, that's what it looks like. Ed's not wrong in thinking that, because he doesn't know enough.
Here's what Ed is wrong about. He needed to actually say, circle, send message, and then yell everyone is fake, send. Like, Ed, I love what you're bringing to us, but if you're going to be this way, be this way. No half measures.
No, he needs to stay in the game. Have a chance.
He doesn't have a chance. He's just arriving so late. Just give us some entertainment, and maybe if you are like enough of a heel, they'll bring you back for season 2 if there's a season 2.
People who enter the game late can still win. I still feel that that's a thing. It's hard, but it can be there. The problem is he is so cynical about it all that what I said about Bill, if you're going to come in late, you need to make DMs with everybody and cast a wide net, see what you can shake out of the trees. You can't just sit back with your mom and be like, you're fake, you're fake, you're fake, everybody sucks.
I no offense to you, Ed. Your beard is interesting, you have a cool job, it's fun that your mom is there. I don't really want you to win. You showed up really, really late, more than halfway through the season. So really, I could care less how well you do. I just want you to go in there, smash things up, and then leave.
I want Ed's mom to have more of a role. She is there, but every single suggestion she has is just shot down. He is not playing any of her game, and she's not really able to participate.
I love how dysfunctional they are, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fun to watch. But I really wish that there was some of her in the game, and there really isn't.
Well, we will have a video on episode 10 soon, which is almost sure to be the last rites of Ed in the game. I do not foresee Ed and his mom sticking around longer than that.
No, unless the circle throws in some sort of twist, that's
Yeah.
Oh, anybody who hasn't been an influencer is going to be an influencer right now, and that gives Sean and Ed the power. Unless they throw in a really unfair twist, then we should be saying goodbye to Ed shortly.
Yeah, the only other thing that could happen is I guess maybe they'll start to rank Shuby lower because they think it's time to get rid of him. But we'll have to see that to believe it because it hasn't really happened yet.
Yeah.
Well, what did you guys think of The Circle episode 9? Share in the comments, and if you like this video, just give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.